Oh, I'm live. Good morning, everybody. Post the link if you want to come on panel. I'll just wait for y'all to get in here. I am a nervous wreck this morning. I've had a hell of a time with my cable and Wi-Fi. Let me reply to my husband and tell him it's back on. My Wi-Fi and cable. Let me get on here and share this stream. I'm sure no one was notified. Crap. Turn the Bluetooth off. Let me fix it for the pop out. Hey, Katie. There's the link, Katie, if you want to call in. I've had the hell of a time. My internet just came back on like a few minutes ago. Hey, Drama What? Good morning, girl. I'm finally on camera. I didn't get to watch Diane last night, guys. I had a date with my hubby. So I see that Fotis Dulos is in court this morning. Let me see if I can get my mic to hook up. Okay. Well, on my end, I'm watching myself through my phone and the screen looks blurry. Oh, did you go live? I missed it. My internet was out, girl. I've been researching this staircase, Michael Peterson. Like, I have like friggin' 20-some pages of notes or more. Very interesting. But first, let's see. Where's my notes about Fotis? So Fotis Dulos is in court this morning. And Norm Pattis alleges that the prosecution is the one that's been leaking information to the press and public. And Fotis and him are really pissed off about it because this right here, it's going to be hard to find, if this went to trial, people that don't know about this case. Maybe, they have an opinion already about it because, they have leaked this information about the surveillance video, the DNA on the faucet. So they feel like he wouldn't get a fair trial. So this morning, hopefully, Norm Pattis, hopefully wants a gag order. I think the prosecution does too, though. I think they were the one that was originally asking for it. I could have that backwards though. Somebody will have to correct me if I do. Um, and I was listening to HLN this morning. They had a defense legal analyst on, and he said that if they had enough evidence, they would have already charged FOTUS. Sorry, I'm looking down, guys. I'm looking at my notes. They would have already charged them. So that analyst felt like that their obstruction of justice charge, hindering prosecution, is not going to stick because, for one, they don't have a body or proof that he did anything. That's how that guy felt this morning. Okay, thank you, Drama One. Yeah, the prosecution wanted it. That's what I thought too. Stupid headset will not stay connected. I haven't got to check on any other updates because I've been offline and no cable. Oh, real quick, Drama One. I saw in Texas that 3 siblings drowned. What's it called? La Jolla, something like that, Texas. 3 siblings drowned. Wouldn't that be awful? Oh my goodness, I can't imagine what that family's going through right now. Let's see what it's saying about photos this morning. Here's one 2 hours ago. The Hartford Court, they usually have a lot about this case. So I guess FOTUS is facing the judge this morning about the hindering prosecution charge and tampering with evidence. It says he arrived at court about 9:50 a.m. with attorney Norm Pattis and a relative from Greece. He was served court papers as he walked in, but Pattis said it was not related to the case on Friday. Wonder what those court papers were about. Let me make a note of that. I have to write everything down or I forget it. Okay, this is just saying what's all happened in the case. So I guess he is still in court at this time, unless they've just not had time to write up something about it. Hey, Love Hollis. Hey, Meow Meow. How are y'all doing? Oh, listen to this. The search for Jennifer has cost Connecticut police $600,000. Well, you know what? Price don't matter when you're looking for somebody's loved one. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. I was going to talk about the staircase this morning because I've took tons and tons of notes on it somehow here. I've got on Amazon. Good Lord. Hey, Southern Mom. Hey, Ellie. I'm okay. I'm okay. I've just been like running around like a chicken with its head cut off. This morning, I got my PJs on. Got my slippers on here, so nothing fancy this morning. Made myself be on camera because sometimes I do get nervous. I'm going to put the link there in case any of y'all want to call in. So I've been really into this staircase lately, and I've took tons and tons of notes on it, the Michael Peterson case. But after I get done with this, the staircase, I'm going to be getting into the Martha Moxley. And I found this book at Ollie's discount store for like $2.99. And Michael Skakel is the guy that was accused of killing Martha Moxley. Of course, he is a cousin to the Kennedys, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wrote this book, Framed, I think in 2016. So I'm going to read it. I've read a little bit of it, but every time I start to read it, like I fall asleep. So oh, thanks, Lev Hollis. But the book is pretty cool, like the inside of it. Uh-oh, my headset disconnected. It's got like a map of the area, the neighborhood they lived in. It even has the dogs that were barking the night of the murder on here. Bjork, and it doesn't name the other dog on the other side. But it's pretty cool. And it also goes exactly through, like, there's a part in here, it takes you exactly through the timeline. And I've watched quite a few things about Martha Moxley, Murder in Greenwich. I know, but I just get so nervous sometimes, guys. I really do. Oh, hey, Ginger Locks. Yeah, ma'am, I'll be very quiet so he might hear me. He's not been in too bad of a mood. Yesterday he was in a little mood, but this morning he was pretty cool. Because I had Cantaloupe with me. I got a video. I'm going to upload a hand feeding the sister wife's cantaloupe. So what do y'all want to talk about? Do y'all want to talk about the staircase, or do y'all want to save that for another morning when y'all know ahead of time? Or I think I did mention it yesterday morning, but it doesn't matter to me. I got pictures of the crime scene, pictures of Kathleen Peterson's body, everything. Turn it off for a bit and then I will call in. Turn what off? The camera? Well, I got to heat my coffee up, so I mean, I guess I could. Let's see how it updates. Oh, okay. Is that what you meant, Meow Meow? Turn the camera off? That's probably how I need to get over my nervousness. Be on camera, and if I need to turn it off for a second, turn it off, turn it back on, because I've developed a really, really bad anxiety to it. I'm just going to be honest. And I find every excuse in the world not to be on it. Oh, shit. I just spilled coffee. So if y'all want to talk about the staircase, we can. We can go through it from the beginning to the end, or we could save it for a Monday morning. That way, if anybody wants time to refresh their memory or come on panel with me and discuss it, they can. Okay, let me see. I can't see my chat. What happened to my chat? Oh my goodness. Hmm. Well, that sucks. Let me get on my phone and find it then. Oh, I'm a big fan of Dr. Henry Lee, Ellie. Like, I think that man is so smart. Hey, I have the pictures I can put up on screen if y'all wanted me to. One of the pictures, some of y'all may not want to see, it is Kathleen's body, but I do have it just to show you how she looked when she fell. Or I have the diagram of her injuries to her head. But it's an interesting case. So while we're waiting on Mel, I'll just kind of go over it for a sec. Let's see. Okay. So this is the Peterson family. You have Michael and Kathleen. And to Kathleen's left, the girl in the pink shirt is Kathleen's daughter, Caitlin. The boy behind Kathleen, I can't remember his name, but that's Mike Peterson's son. And the other young man behind Michael Peterson is his son. And the two other girls are his adopted daughters. He adopted a friend's two kids when they died. Mike Peterson was in the service. He was stationed in Germany with his first wife. And his first wife was a teacher, and she met another teacher named Elizabeth Ratliff. And her husband was in the service, and he got killed in the invasion of Grenada, I think, in the early 80s. And then Liz Ratliff, his wife, died not too long after that. She was found at the bottom of a staircase. Cause of death was, I think, like a brain hemorrhage, they said. And this was in Germany. And she died in 1985. And Michael adopted her two daughters. And when Michael and his first wife divorced, he took the adopted daughters and she kept their two boys. And he came back to the States. And then, hold on, let me get to my notes. Because I'd like to know the exact date. Not quite sure. Let's see. Okay. So Liz Ratliff's husband, George Ratliff, he died in 83. Hey. 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 Mel
Hey.
Mel.
Hello.
Hello. I'm wondering if they can hear you on the stream. Can I can hear you? Can you hear me? Hold on.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Can everyone hear? Chuck a one up if you can hear both.
Okay. See, on this live stream, it's a little bit different when someone joins in. You got to hit a couple different things to add on to the stream. But I like this a lot better than StreamYards. So I was just talking about Michael Peterson. Do you know anything about it?
I've got like a replay going. Don't know why.
Okay, so I don't know why.
I think it's okay now.
No. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's doing it again.
Because it's an app. Okay. Well, it'll be okay. So, do you know anything about the staircase murder? And there's a little bit of a way answer you and stuff.
Yeah, this is not working for me. I might have to go off and.
What do you mean?
Because you. Now I'm hearing the.
Oh, it shows that you're working.
But I'm hearing everything double. Now I'm just messing up your whole thing. But I'm hearing everything twice.
Well, that's weird. I don't know why that would happen.
I'll just go.
That's weird. Go back out and come back in.
All right, 2 secs.
Oh, you're fine. Okay. So, Mel, are you coming back in? Okay. So let's get back to the Mike Peterson. So he comes back from Germany after his divorce and the death of George and Liz Ratliff, and he comes back with the Ratliff children. Okay, here's mailbag.
I'm really interested.
But
Can oh god, now she's frozen.
okay, can you hear?
It's me.
Okay.
It's just me. I'm just gonna go.
Why? It shows you're working fine to me. I'm looking at it on my phone here too.
Cause
Okay.
does it? So weird. Sounds so weird. So what are we talking about? The staircase.
Is it working? It's so weird. Yeah, we're talking about the staircase. Now, see if
Yep.
it works any better. Does it work better?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're talking about the staircase. And it really just,
Yeah, it
I
just
just
seems
wanted
a
to
bit
start in like Germany.
laggy, but besides that, it's all right.
It does lag a little bit. Yeah, the staircase. So Mike Peterson gets a divorce. He's got two adopted daughters, and he makes his way back to, and he read paper and start dating and get married. She worked. She's like really high up there at Nortel Company, and they're living the high life. But Mike Peterson, it was a novelist, and he is a novelist. He wrote some books about Vietnam. But anyways, they're married. You know, they combined their families. Everybody thinks they are the perfect couple. Till the night Peterson calls 911. Kathleen had an accident. Now, what do you know about this? Mel,
No, I actually don't.
can't
I actually haven't heard about this one.
hear.
I'm probably no use at all.
You haven't heard about this case?
It's yeah, it's not working, CC.
I don't know what happened to her. It's not working adding people on panel through here. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what she was laughing about. I was talking about a murder and she was laughing. Oh my goodness. But anyways, I'll have to try to figure out how to do a panel later. Gosh, um, it really sucks at doing panels, the streamlines. But anyways, he calls 911. His wife has fallen down the bottom of the stairs. Now, there was a couple of things that stood out to me about Mike Peterson's 911 call. And one of the things was um, in the first call, he called twice. The first call, he makes sure to say she's still breathing. I believe maybe a couple different times. I know in the second call, he kind of makes it like he's setting up the scenario of like, oh, she was breathing, but she's not breathing now. And a criminologist actually pointed out how he starts out the 911 call, and it's by using the word uh. So that's a sign of a lie getting ready to come out your mouth. She says, but I do that quite a bit myself. And I could not see this chat. Can y'all still hear good? Yeah, Ellie, I use the word a lot too. So Of course, as soon as the detectives got there, they thought that there was something off about this case. Let me see if I can. I'm going to show y'all how Kathleen was found at the bottom of the stairs. I'm not going to leave this picture up there long. And then I'll show you what the walls look like. Okay. And that's what the crime scene looks like. That's why authorities thought that she had been murdered. Have you ever seen anyone fall down the stairs and have that much blood spatter? Let's see. I had wrote some stuff down about the blood because there was some that was found outside, and it was what you call tear drop. And that is where, like, let's say you're cutting your finger, you're standing one place, and it like drips down into those little drops. It's called teardrops. So there was some of that outside. Now, how would her blood get outside if she fell down the stairs, the back stairs of the house? This was a huge mansion they lived in. Yeah. Okay. Let's look. Yeah, she looks it's so annoying. Every time you switch pictures, you have to add the stupid microphone back. Okay. So this is the injuries she had to her head. Look at those big lacerations. Well, she got one, two, about seven or more. So, according to Michael Peterson, that night they watched a movie. They had a couple bottles of wine. They were out sitting by the pool having some wine. I believe he said they drank two bottles. Kathleen was smoking some cigarettes. He was smoking his pipe. They were messing with the dog. And I believe the 911 call came in about 2 o'clock in the morning. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure. He says Kathleen decides to go in to the house, and that's the last time he saw her until he came in the house and found her at the bottom of the stairs. Oh, yeah, I think she did have a Valium, Ellie. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, she told Mike, I got to go in. He said, I'll be up later. And, and I know he did say, I didn't think that'd be the last time. Um,
see her. Okay, I have it wrote down here. The criminologist said that when you start off a sentence by the word it's like you're starting off on guard because you're going to bluff. That's exactly what she said. He starts off, my wife had an accident, and that's already setting the stage for a scenario. She's still breathing. He says she's still breathing twice. It's like he wanted people to know she was breathing. And when they asked him how many sets of stairs did she fall down, he said, "What do you mean?" or something like that. Answering a question with a question is a big red flag. Yeah, me too. Me too, Red Room Media. Yeah, they almost look like talon marks. And we'll get to the owl theory in the case in just a minute. Okay, so after the first 911 call, he hangs up, he calls again. You can hear Peterson sobbing on the line. He calls again 6 minutes later. In the second call, he says she's not breathing. You know, and a novelist, Mike Peterson knows you have to have a beginning, the plot, and then the end. The criminologist believed that between the 911 calls, the 6 minutes in between, that he was setting up a scenario. So, when authorities get there, red flags go up everywhere. I mean, the scene is just so bloody for someone to fall down the stairs. You would expect someone falling down the stairs to get banged up a little bit, bruised on the arm, or something. Hey, Verbal. Yeah, let's go back to that picture. Okay, look at that blood. And they think that he used a blow poker, like you poke a fire with, uh, to murder her with, to hit her in the head. Kathleen's sister had gave it to her years before. It was custom made. She had gave several members of her family one of those, but they never did find that blow poker. Now, Mike Peterson's adopted daughter said she hadn't seen that in years. I think on the staircase series, I think it showed her actually going back through family videos and stuff to see if she could see it sitting around the fireplace. But anyways, they start investigating Mike Peterson for the murder. He says that they came after him and automatically started assuming he did something because he used to write for the Durham paper, and he would come really hard after the elected officials around there and the police department and all that. So he thought, they had like this vendetta against him. I mean, just look at all the blood. Let me see if I can pull this other picture up again. Well, look at that. I don't want to leave this picture up too long. Look at the blood on the bottom of her feet. How in the world did that get there? And how about the blood outside on their little porch area coming in the door. There were a couple drops, what they call like teardrop pattern. It's like you're standing in one place dripping blood. So she had to have been out there at some point. And then there's another thing. Mike Peterson had blood in the inside of his shorts. So after Kathleen's murder, Liz Ratliff's sister calls authorities and says, hey, my sister was found at the bottom of the staircase in Germany, and Mike Peterson was one of the last people to see her alive because Mike and his first wife, I believe, had had dinner with Liz the night before. So that got cops really curious about Mike Peterson. And they actually exhumed Liz Ratliff's body, which was buried in Texas. And they brought it back, I believe, to North Carolina. And they did another autopsy. Now, the military, I think, are the ones that investigated when Liz was found dead. And they said she died from a brain hemorrhage. And her daughters did say that she had been having a headache. But her injuries when they conducted the other autopsy after they examined her were very similar to Kathleen Peterson. And something that's even more eerie, and I'm so mad at myself I didn't put that picture up here. Maybe I could still find it. Is Kathleen Peterson and Liz Ratliff and Michael's first wife, they all look almost identical, especially Liz Ratliff and Kathleen Peterson. I mean, the resemblance, I mean, you would think that they were sisters, if not twins. As Detective Kincaid says, or Kenda, there are no coincidences. You know, Mike Peterson says it's a coincidence that two women that were in his life were found at the bottom of the staircase dead. Yeah, Mel. I'm getting ready to get to that. Yeah. So Michael Peterson was investigated, charged with murder, and convicted. And a few years after that, his neighbor came out with the owl theory that a owl had actually attacked her, Kathleen, out on the back porch, made her disoriented and dizzy, gave her lacerations on the head, which caused her to bleed. Kathleen then runs upstairs, only to slip in blood gushing from her head and falls to her death. That is the owl theory. Let's look at her lacerations here. Okay. Now, a couple of them do, just one especially, does look like a talent mark. And I did listen to people that were interviewed that have actually been attacked by owls, and it is very, very rare to be attacked by an owl. Their heads, it showed pictures of their heads, were scratched up a little bit, nothing like Kathleen Peterson's injury. It would have had to been coming at her really, really hard. An owl could not pick up a human. A small dog, chicken, yeah. According to the neighbor, there had been some an owl in the neighborhood or something. Oh yeah, and they did find an owl feather, microscopic, I think, little small traces of an owl feather in Kathleen's head. But that could have came from outside when she was out by the pool drinking wine. And Michael Peterson did stay in prison what for about 8 years, but the blood analysis guy for the FBI was proven to be not credible. So Michael Peterson's conviction was overturned. And rather go back to trial, his lawyer, which is a awesome lawyer, defense attorney, David Rudolph, got him a plea deal. I think he did like an Alford plea, which is basically you're not coming out and saying it, but you're basically admitting to guilt. The prosecution's theory is that after Kathleen Peterson went inside, she did make a phone call. They said to or check some emails. She had made a phone call earlier in the evening to someone that she worked with, and they said everything seemed fine with Kathleen. She didn't seem drunk or anything. But allegedly, she was in Michael Peterson's office. She got on his computer where she found gay porn because Michael Peterson was bisexual. He's bisexual. Um, the prosecution said that Kathleen didn't know about it. Mike Peterson said that she did. I watched the staircase verbal constipation, and his lawyer was very, very convincing. He's a very intelligent guy. I mean, I'd want him defending me, if I was someone that was in trouble like that. But yeah, I'm like you. There's just too much evidence pointing to his guilt. The prosecution said the motive for Liz Ratliff's murder was life insurance, but the defense said that all that money was spent on the girls. See, when Liz and George both had it fixed that where if something happened to them, the kids went to Mike Peterson. They all became that close. There's something I'm very curious about is the oldest adopted daughter. She looks a lot like Michael Peterson. Everyone said that Liz Ratliff and Mike Peterson, they hung out a lot without Mike's wife around. Everyone said they were just friends, but I'm not so sure about that. I think Mike Peterson was the last one to be alone with Liz before she was found dead the next day. I mean, where was his wife at? Hey, Kim. Yeah, how did he think he was going to get by with this? My theory is Kathleen discovered the porn on his computer when she was in his office using his computer to check for her emails, whatever. She confronted him. They argued, and he hit her in the head with something. I mean, her injuries are almost identical to Liz Ratliff's head injuries. I guess an owl attacked Liz Ratliff too. Oh yeah, an expert about owls said that they rarely attack. An owl, and he also said an owl is not strong enough to knock humans down. Olivia Maxwell was attacked by an owl in 2001, and her head was just scraped up a little bit. The one guy's head, it looked just like little puncture wounds, just like 3 or 4 of them. I know owls and roosters, and they do have sharp talons. And owls' talons, they use them to rip flesh from animals. You know what's strange is there was no blood cast off on the ceiling above the staircase. And something else about the blood is blood pools. Like when you find someone and there's blood pooled around them, it usually means the victim died there, usually slowly from blunt force trauma. Is what blood pools is. And Kathleen had crescent shaped laceration. Where's the crescent? Okay, I see the crescent. And they said that was probably caused by the blowpoke. And the prosecution actually did have a blowpoke in court. It was Kathleen's sister's because it was identical, because Kathleen's sister had several of her family members one of those blowpokes made, custom made. I'm curious how she got the blood on the bottom of her feet. Oh, they're talking about photos on the news. I had to glance over there for a second. I could talk about this case all daggone day long.
Okay. Can't tell if my headset's hooked up. Anyways, yeah, she might have been conscious and still trying to stand up. Beat tells me she was standing back or tried to run. Yeah, she must have started bleeding. Somehow still managed to get to her feet or be on her feet and stepped in her own blood. I think he saw her fall, made it worse when he saw he had a chance. I believe he drugged her or knew she was on her meds. Yeah, her alcohol level was 0.07. I'm not sure what that means, if that's a lot or not. I don't know what's happened in court, Katie, with Botus. We'll see real quick. No, I don't think it's updated yet. I don't know, but as soon as he entered the courthouse, they served him with some kind of papers. So he must not be out of court yet. So, as soon as I find out what went on with Botus, I will let y'all all know. It's been a good conversation this morning. I got to get off here and get some things done around the house. Got to upload Sunny's video. 0.08. She was 0.07. I think it was wrote 0.07. Anyways, thank y'all for chatting with me this morning. I appreciate it. And Mel will have to figure out how to do panels with the stupid light stream. Drives me crazy. Anyways, I love y'all. Have a great day. Hearts and peace.